What if the United States stepped in and actively helped Biafra break away from Nigeria to form its own independent country? Not just words, real pressure, sanctions, maybe even diplomatic recognition. Would it bring peace, prosperity, and safety for the region's majority Christian population? Or would it restart one of Africa's bloodiest wars? Let's break it down step by step. First, quick history. In 1967, the predominantly Igbo, Christian Southeast declared independence as the Republic of Biafra. Nigeria's federal government saw it as secession and invaded. The war lasted nearly 3 years, with blockade-induced famine killing an estimated 1 to 3 million people, mostly civilians. Biafra surrendered in 1970. No victor, just trauma. Fast forward to today, groups like the Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB, and others continue calling for a referendum. They argue the Igbo and related groups face political marginalization, unequal resource sharing, and violence, including attacks on Christian communities in parts of the Middle Belt and North. Nigeria's government calls these groups separatist threats and has banned IPOB as a terrorist organization. Here's the optimistic scenario many Biafran supporters describe. A new Republic of Biafra would control most of Nigeria's oil and gas. The Niger Delta produces over 90% of Nigeria's export revenue. An independent Biafra could keep that wealth instead of sending the bulk to Abuja. With a population of roughly 40 to 50 million hardworking, education-focused people, Igbo consistently score highest on national exams. Plus established trading networks across Africa and the diaspora, supporters argue Biafra could quickly become a wealthy, Singapore-style hub, modern ports, tech centers, manufacturing. Religious angle. The core Biafran region is over 90% Christian. Independence would create a majority Christian state where churches and Christian culture could thrive without fear of the religious tensions and attacks seen in mixed regions. Supporters point to farmer-herder clashes and church bombings as evidence that separation could protect lives and allow religious freedom. The United States could gain a strongly pro-Western, English-speaking ally in West Africa, countering Chinese and Russian influence, securing oil flows, and having a partner that shares democratic aspirations. Best case path for success. The U.S. imposes targeted sanctions on Nigerian leaders, freezes assets, and pushes ECOWAS and the African Union for a supervised referendum, similar to South Sudan in 2011 or Scotland in 2014. If the vote is overwhelmingly yes, polls among Igbo often show strong support. The U.S. and allies recognize Biafra immediately, provide security guarantees, and help negotiate resource sharing with remaining Nigeria. Peacekeepers monitor borders. Debt and assets are divided fairly. Oil keeps flowing, markets stabilize. Biafra booms. Nigeria, though weakened, rebuilds as a more cohesive federation. This could work because international pressure has forced divisions before. Think East Timor or Kosovo, and a clean referendum would give legitimacy. But history and geopolitics suggest a darker outcome. Nigeria's leaders across ethnic groups see national unity as non-negotiable. Indivisibility is written into the Constitution. Any U.S. push would be labeled neo-colonial interference. The military, one of Africa's largest, would likely resist. Africa as a whole is extremely sensitive to border changes. The African Union's principle is to keep colonial borders intact to prevent domino effect secessions. Almost every African nation would side with Nigeria. Russia and China, major investors in Nigerian oil and infrastructure, would veto any unfavorable UN resolution and likely arm Nigeria. Worst case, renewed civil war. Millions displaced, oil infrastructure sabotaged, global energy prices spike. Humanitarian crisis on the scale of the 1960s or worse.